Hola guys and girls, and welcome to week 2 of the ICBA, the International Competitive ICB Battling Association. There we go, the B stands for battling. Pretty long name, so sometimes get it wrong. But yeah, we had week 2, this is the first team build actually. Like you obviously know, in week 1 we had no team builder because I was a bit pressed for time, but this time I have a lot more time, so I can actually do this team builder for you. So, our opponent is PointBlanke, coach of the Portage Herdiers. He lost week 1, so he is definitely out for blood. I did not watch the battle yet because they battled pretty late and they didn't have an upload yet, so I have no idea how this battle went. Like, I of course know the score and stuff like that, but I have not a good idea on how he battles, how he likes to play and stuff like that. Of course, it's the first time me playing him, like for a lot of people in this league. But yeah, we of course 1-0. We had a nice game last week in which we won, and we want of course keep this winning streak going to go to playoffs and of course win it all at the end. Not too much in regards of history, player history, standings. I think I'm number 2 in my division right now because my division actually 3 out of 4 teams won, so we got 3 1-0 teams. I think I'm at second place currently. Someone else won with a high differential, but if we can win this time as well, this is actually a divisional match. This time it's a division match. Last time it was an out-of-division match, so this time it is more important. Portage Herdiers, he's of course the one team which so far has 1 loss in our division, so it's not like I can really steal a spot, the number 1 spot with this game, but I potentially can if the other team decides to lose. But yeah, so much about the history of the team. Let's look at his team and see what he can bring to the table. He got the Mega Mawile, the Garchomp, the Mew, the Rotom Heat, the Blastoise, Drapion, Cobalion, Staraptor, Frostless, Tangela, and last the Frogadier. His Z captains are the Mew, the Garchomp, and the Frogadier. Very excited to see what Z Frogadier actually can do. I was very surprised once he picked that. But yeah, biggest threats of course is the Mega Mawile. I have close to no switch-ins to that thing, so I mainly have to concern myself with revenge killing that and not too much about switching it in. Like, I have some mons which can switch in, but basically you can only switch in once and stuff like that. If you can set some SD, they're not switching at all anymore. So yeah, Mega Mawile is a huge threat. Then Mew, of course, is a Z captain, so he has the option to not go defensive Mew, which you see usually most times. He has the chance to go for setup Mew, some kind of Mew set. So you can't re-prepare for a Mew. Like, it's very difficult to like guess which, if it's an offensive Mew, which offensive Mew it's gonna be. Like, sometimes you can guess, like, depending on the matchup. Like, if you have Mega Low Party, it's probably gonna be a Fizdef Mew. If you have a very good special threat, it's gonna be probably a special Spidef Mew. But if it's an offensive Mew, it's very hard to guess what it is. Is it physical? Is it special? Is it mix? Is it Cold Mind? Is it Rock Polish? Is it Sword Stance? Whatever. There's so much possibility, so checking that defensively is very difficult. Checking Mew offensively, on the other hand, can work a bit better. But yeah, these are like the biggest threats. The Staraptor I can check decently well. The Cobalion is a bit scary as well, but I have some decent checks to that. So I just want to say that Mew and Mega Mawile are probably the biggest threats to my team. And to the team I brought, Rotom Heat is a bit scary as well, but we will look out there, over that right now when we check over my team. So, first up, we got Defay, my Comfy with the Pixie Play, Drainicus, Hidden Power Ground, Core Mind, and Synthesis. Of course, with the Triage ability, so my Drainicus and Synthesis have +3 priority. This set allows me to outspeed everything up to a max speed Drapion, and with Calm Mind, it's a very nice model of this team. His only fairy resist on his team is the Mega Mawile. Then of course I can hit super effective with Hidden Power Ground. Same goes for the Drapion, which I can hit super effective with Hidden Power Ground, and these has only 2 mons, which can hit me super effectively with Stab. The rest would have to rely on coverage moves and stuff which outspeeds me, like the Cobalion, which takes a lot from Drainicus. With Cobalion, even though it's neutral from Drainicus, does not have the best Spidef. And if I can predict on the switch, I can go for Hidden Power Ground. The Garchomp could outspeed me, I can hit that super effectively with my Drainicus and stuff like that. And the rest I outspeed as well. I can get a lot of recovery with the Drainicus. I'm just max special attack. I looked into like being more bulky and stuff like that, but I was still 2-hit KO'd by every offensive mon he could have, so I decided just go for max damage so I can potentially OHKO or 2-KO them and get a lot of recovery with Drainicus, because if you're not aware, Drainicus actually does not only have half, it's only 50 base power, but it has 75% of the damage dealt, and since Comfy has such a low HP set at 51, I can actually recover a lot of health on my Comfy with Drainicus. But yeah, that's Comfy right here. If he has the Mew and Spidef, I have to weaken that a lot, but other than that, this thing can sweep pretty easily once the... if he has Cobalion, I need to weaken that as well, because it can revenge kill me, but stuff like Garchomp is not enough of its health, because I can Drainicus basically get up to full, and then he can't kill me with Poison Jab. So yeah, the 2 things I have to weaken is the Mega Mawile, so it gets in range of my Hidden Power Ground, and the Mew, if he brings that with him. And of course, I can't really touch the Rotom Heat, but the other good thing is I can actually set up on Rotom Heat if he is not the Trick variant or a Toxic variant or something like that, because Comfy has very nice Spadef, and if I get a Calm Mind up, he's not hurting me with Calm Minds or something like that. So yeah, I only have Draining Kiss to hit it, which is resisted, but I can still basically set up on the thing, so it's not really that big of a problem. Next up, we got Luftwaffe, which is our 5th staff Skarmory with Brave Bird, Stealth Rock, Roost, and Whirlwind with the Rocky Helmet and Sturdy. This is my first switch into the Mega Mawile. Mega Mawile actually does 2-hit KO with Thunder Punch. That's why I have enough speed right here with my speed investment to outspeed up everything to a max speed adamant Mega Mawile. I don't expect him to bring a Jolly Mega Mawile. If he does, that might be a bit more troublesome, but if he has Thunder Punch, which is of course the stronger move you have for Skarmory and not Fire Fang, I can actually Whirlwind on that thing, Roost on that thing, get rid of my electric weakness and get some damage on him with Rocky Helmet. Of course, I can't Roost forever, basically with trying to wear down Rocky Helmet, because if he's an SD set, that is a bit scary. So I have to scout first if he's an SD variant or not. Basically expecting Sucker Punch, because basically always on Sucker Punch on Mega Mawile, Thunder Punch, and then one coverage move of choice, be it Iron Head or Player, but everything's better with my team, and then last move, probably Sword Stance, might be 2 attacks, so I have to scout for that, what that 4th move is. If it's not Sword Stance, I can potentially win with my Skarmory 1v1 with it, just roosting up on it, but if he gets up an SD, this Skarmory is nowhere near a check to that anymore, and yeah, Rocky Helmet is very nice to get some chip damage on that, because if he goes first for Player Off, and then the Thunder Punch, I can still get 2 rounds of Rocky Helmet, and that basically brings him range of +1 hidden power ground from my config. So yeah, then we got Whirlwind. In case he is a Sword Stance variant, I'm still at good health, I can Whirlwind them out. And then Roost for just recovery, like I said. And then Brave Bird as my main attacking move, because it was better than Iron Head. Most of the team I can hit with Brave Bird for more damage than with Iron Head. So I decided to go with that. And then Stealth Rock, because we want Stealth Rock on our team. So yeah, that's Skarmory, basically our 5th death check. It checks a lot of other stuff on his team, potentially the Garchomp if it doesn't have Fire Blast, the Drapion can't really touch it, the Cobalion can't really touch it as well. So there's a lot of monsters this can check, and of course this Raptor is a very nice check to that. My Skarmory pretty good check to that as well, because Double Action Brave with his main stats, which are Reckless boosted, 1 to 8 KO my Skarmory, then Desmond I can get a lot of recoil damage on that with that, these moves, and the Rocky Helmet. So yeah, that is Skarmory right here. I don't really expect him to bring Staraptor because I have a Skarmory, but mainly there for Mega Mawile and potentially all these other physically offensive threats. In physically offensive Mew, I'm definitely expecting him to have some coverage for a Skarm, but it's not for some weird reason, then I can wall that with Skarmory as well. Next up, we got Laserkin with the Life Orb, Flare Blitz, High Jump Kick, Hidden Power Ice, and Protect. Enough speed so that after 1 Protect, I outspeed everything up to max speed Frostless. I did not thought it was worth it to go for like Scarf, which you outspeed, because many things he could Scarf, still outspeed me at +1, even at max speed. So I decided a more bulkier variant and actually an Adamant variant with my Blaziken with Flare Blitz, High Jump Kick, which hits a lot of his team for super good damage. I was thinking putting Thunder Punch over High Jump Kick, but High Jump Kick actually does more to the Blasters, and if I would have Thunder Punch with these movesets, I can't really touch the whole room heat once again. So yeah, I decided for Flare High Jump Kick, which basically hits his whole team for neutral damage at least, and they are super high base power with 120, 130, and with Adamant Life Orb they do a butt ton of damage to everything which was a switch in. Basically 2-hit KOs everything, barring he protects correctly, and or like it's something which weak to High Jump Kick and then he can protect and something like that. And then I decided as last move just to put Hidden Power Ice there, so I don't have to get a lot of recoil potentially versus the Garchomp, because like if I go for Flare Blitz, he goes to Garchomp, I get Rough Skin, Flare Blitz recoil, Life Orb recoil, then I would have to go for High Jump Kick, another round of Life Orb and what you call it, Rough Skin, potentially as a Rocky Helmet and stuff like that. So that's why I just have Hidden Power Ice here, which does not OHKO, but after one Flare Blitz or a few rounds of rocks, Hidden Power Ice does OHKO because I'm a minus Protect variant. I didn't want to be minus defense or minus Split F, because this thing actually has a good typing to be switched into a lot of his mons. And yeah, definitely not minus defense, because this is my best thing to take on the Mega Mawile at +2, because I'm resistant to the Sucker Punch and I can then just OHKO it with a Flare Blitz. But yeah, that's decided for Life Orb just for straight power with Flare Blitz and High Jump Kick, not a Z move variant this time. And yeah, Protect just for protection angles so I can get my speed boost going and stuff like that. You know what Blaziken basically does. This is the Life Orb variant with Hidden Power Ice because there's a Garchomp. Hidden Power Ice does hit the Tangela as well, in case I don't want to risk the recoil, of course, but Flare Blitz does basically OHKO that, get close to an OHKO if he's max physically defensive with Navarro. That Tangela's just way too bulky, and yeah. Next up, another one which would like Tangela to be gone is my Z user. It's my Digger Speed Chat, Agility variant with Earthquake, Frustration, Knockoff, and Agility. Normalium Z for the Breakneck, Blitz, Frustration on that thing. And yeah, enough speed so that after an Agility, I outspeed everything. Everything basically. Everything up to a Scarf Frostless, which is the fastest thing on his team. I still outspeed with an Agility. And by the way, this speed does not only allow me to outspeed Frostless at +1, it does allow me to outspeed a no-speed Mew, in case he brings a bulky Mew. But by the way, just a side note. But yeah, Earthquake Frustration is very nice double dual coverage versus team. The only thing which basically stops the Diggersby in its tracks is the Tangela, and that's the main thing why I wanted Knockoff. Like, Knockoff is not very strong. It's not very strong versus Mew because it probably has a Cold Berry or Z user. So Knockoff is actually weaker in Frustration versus that. But Frostless, Earthquake already echoes that. The main reason I have Knockoff right here is to get rid of the Violet on the Tangela, because most likely the first switch into my Diggersby, so I can safely click Knockoff, get rid of the Violet, and then I just have to weaken it a bit for my Normalium Z Frustration to knock it out. I had first Thunder Punch and Fire Punch, stuff like that, but actually Frustration is stronger either way versus these mons, so yeah, that's why I have that. This is my late game sweeper. Basically, if he doesn't bring Tangela, this thing actually can straight sweep him very easily, just with a little bit chip damage on some mons, but if he has Tangela, then the main mission is get rid of the Tangela or weaken the Tangela significantly so my Diggersby can sweep. Next up, we got Evelyn, my Miss Mages, with the Expert Bell, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Icy Wind, and Will-O-Wisp. Enough speed to outspeed everything up to a max speed Garchomp, max special attack, the rest in bulk. This thing is very nice versus team. I have Expert Bell because I want to bluff the Scarf once again, and Expert Bell is nice because the Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Icy Wind actually hit everything to super 5 damage, barring the Mawile, the Rotom Heat, which I can't really touch once again. Rotom Heat, like I said, is a bit problem for the team I brought. Blastoise can hit super effectively. Drapion I can't hit super effectively. The Cobalion I can't hit super effectively as well, but then Staraptor, Frostless, Tangela, and Frogadier, I can all of those hit super effective damage with Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Icy, which is very nice. And all these mons I mentioned, which I can't hit super effectively, the Mawile, the Drapion, and the Cobalion, all of them I can basically hit super effectively with my Will-O-Wisp right here. I decide to bluff the Scarf, or try to bluff the Scarf, with the Expert Belt and Will-O-Wisp, so that he may, some point he maybe tries to revenge kill me with Sucker Punch Mawile. Then I can dodge the Sucker Punch and just go for Will-O-Wisp and burn that thing, which would be awesome. Getting Nurturing basically the biggest threat to my team in Mega Mawile. So yeah. That's Miss Mages for you. Very nice coverage for his team. Mainly it puts there because if your opponent is a Mew, you always want something which has a stab move, which is super effective versus Mew, and I decided to go with Mages this time, not with Scizor, because usually Cold Berry is a lot more common on the on Mew, and I decided Shadow Ball with an Expert Belt is very nice versus that mon, and yeah, then just some coverage move with Expert Belt and Will-O-Wisp to burn all the ones which I don't hit so effectively. But yeah, that is Miss Mages for you. Last but not least, we get, of course, pre-snack the Flame Orb Milotic with Scald, Haste, Toxic, and Recover. Just a little speed so he can't speed creep me that easily. It's not for anything special. Recover, of course, mainly for recovery. Toxic there to Toxic a lot of his mons, which would be a good switch in to me. Otherwise, like the Blastoise I can Toxic, the Tangela I can Toxic. Scald there just as my main stab move, and then the Flame Up because then I'm super bulky on the physical side. Nothing obviously can outcome me the physical side, and Haze is there for once. For the Mawile potentially, if he gets a Salt Sensor, can haze it, but mainly for the Mew, because like I said, a Mew could be any kind of setup variant, and if I can haze Milotic at full health, I can take any hit. Like, look at this bulk, 144 physical bulk, with Flame Orb that's even more bulky, and 145 special bulk. Basically, if this Milotic is healthy, it can take any hit from a Mew, and I can haze it, Toxic it, basically check and set up Mew variant if my Milotic is more healthy. He could have Energy Ball, he could have Thunderbolt, so I need a Milotic at good health before I know what kind of Mew it is. If I know what kind of Mew it is, I can maybe have our mons to check and stuff like that. But this is my main check, or my blank check to the Mew if it's healthy. There's a message on Discord, hello Build, thanks for the thumbnails. But yeah, I first had Ice Beam over Haste to hit the Tangela better, because if he switches to Tangela I get a Scald Burn and I can't sadly Toxic it anymore. Same with the Mew, which is annoying. I definitely want Toxic on those guys, I don't want to burn them. But in the end I thought Haste is more safe, because I have ways to deal with the Tangela. Like, for example, my Comfy can set up on it as well if it doesn't have Sleep Powder. So, but yeah, in the end I decided for Haste. So, yeah, more Discord messages popping up. I will close them right now. That means for me that the team builder will end right here. So you can see the match tomorrow. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of my team? What do you think is the biggest threat of my opponent? Did I oversee something? Do you think I can pull out a win? Which mon will perform the best of my squad? But yeah, that's all from me. I will see you tomorrow for the match versus the Portage Herdiers and PointBlanke. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, of course, leave a like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Hit me on Twitter, Facebook. All the links are in the description. And yeah, I will see you now time.